Every civilization was built off the back of a disposable workforce. But I can only make so many. Happy birthday.
Rain never stops falling in Los Angeles. Thick drops crash against neon windows while giant holograms glow above endless darkness. The city feels alive and dead at the same time. Crowded streets remain strangely silent, covered in smoke, artificial lights, and the weight of loneliness. 30 years after the events of Blade Runner 2049, humanity survives beside artificial beings known as replicants. They were created to obey, to work, to die quietly. But hidden beneath the ruins of this broken world lies a secret powerful enough to change everything forever. Chapter 1. The year is 2049, and Officer K works as a Blade Runner for the Los Angeles Police Department. He is not human. He is a replicant designed to hunt older replicants who refuse to obey society's rules. K lives a cold and mechanical life, where every day feels identical to the last. Endless rain crashes over the city, while giant holographic advertisements light up the night sky, like artificial gods watching over humanity's collapse. During one mission outside the city, Kay arrives at a silent protein farm surrounded by dead trees and gray fog. There he finds Sapper Morton, an older replicant hiding in isolation. The fight between them is brutal and heavy, fists crashing through walls while dust fills the air. But before dying, Sapper quietly tells Kay something strange. Dying for the right cause, that's the most human thing we can do. The words stay inside Kay's mind long after the mission ends. While investigating the farm, Kay discovers a box buried beneath a dead tree. Inside are the remains of a female replicant who died during childbirth. The discovery shocks the authorities because replicants are not supposed to reproduce naturally. If the truth becomes public, society could collapse into chaos. Lieutenant Joshi immediately orders Kay to destroy all evidence connected to the child and erase the secret forever. Kay accepts the mission, but for the first time in his life, something inside him hesitates. Chapter 2. Back in Los Angeles, the city glows beneath endless neon lights and toxic rain. Crowds move through flooded streets while giant holograms smile down from the sky. Kay returns to his apartment, where only Joy waits for him. Joy is an artificial holographic companion, created to erase loneliness, but around her, Kay feels something strangely human. She speaks softly to him, gives warmth to his empty existence, and slowly becomes the only emotional connection in his life. As Kay investigates the mystery further, he discovers clues connected to an orphanage and a small wooden horse hidden inside an old furnace. Suddenly, fragments of childhood memories begin returning to him. He remembers running through dark hallways, children screaming, and desperately protecting the wooden horse from others trying to steal it. Replicants are given artificial memories to stabilize their minds, but these memories feel painfully real. The possibility terrifies Kay. What if the memories belong to him? What if he was born instead of created? The idea slowly consumes him. For the first time, Kay begins imagining that he may actually matter. Meanwhile, far above the city, Niander Wallace watches everything from his massive headquarters. Blind yet terrifyingly intelligent, Wallace sees himself as a god shaping the future of civilization. He dreams of creating an endless replicant population capable of colonizing distant planets, but natural reproduction remains impossible for him to achieve. That is why the mysterious child becomes so important. Wallace sends his loyal enforcer, Love, to follow Kay and uncover the truth. Unlike Kay, Love hides terrifying violence behind calm silence and cold eyes. She kills without hesitation and speaks with unsettling control, making every moment around her feel dangerous. Chapter 3. Kay eventually visits Dr. Anna Stelline, the memory designer responsible for creating emotional memories for replicants. Inside her isolated laboratory, soft golden light fills the room while artificial snow drifts gently against the windows. Kay shows her the memory of the wooden horse, hoping for answers. Anna studies it carefully before tears slowly appear in her eyes. Then she quietly reveals the truth. It's real. In that moment, Kay's entire world changes. If the memory is real, then maybe he is real too. As he walks through the city afterward, Neon lights reflect across rain-covered streets, while giant holograms tower over him like ghosts. Questions begin destroying his thoughts. Am I real? Was I born? Do I actually have a soul? For the first time, Kay no longer feels like a machine following orders. He feels alive. Joy notices the emotional change immediately and gives him a real name instead of serial number. She calls him Joe. The simple gesture feels deeply personal, almost human. Kay slowly begins believing he may actually be the miracle child everyone is searching for. But the truth waiting ahead is far more painful than he could imagine. Eventually, Kay tracks down Rick Deckard in the abandoned ruins of Las Vegas. The once glamorous city now stands buried beneath orange dust storms and silence. Their first meeting turns violent instantly, fists crashing through broken walls while echoes fill the empty building. But after the fight ends, Deckard slowly reveals pieces of his past with Rachel and the impossible child they created together. He explains how he abandoned his daughter to protect her from powerful people seeking control. Sometimes to love someone, you have to be a stranger, Deckard quietly says. Kay listens carefully because for the first time he sees true humanity in another person. Pain, sacrifice, regret, and love. Chapter 4. Everything collapses when love suddenly attacks. Glass explodes across the room while gunfire tears through darkness. Love moves like death itself, calm and merciless, destroying everything in her path with terrifying precision. She captures Deckard and kills anyone standing in her way without emotion. But the moment that destroys Kay completely happens seconds later. Love crushes Joy's portable device beneath her foot. Kay watches helplessly as Joy flickers weakly for the final time. Her face trembles through broken static, while fear fills her eyes. Then she disappears forever. Silence follows. Rain pours heavily across the city, while neon lights blur through Kay's tears. For the first time in his life, he experiences true loss. Soon afterward, Kay finally learns the devastating truth. He is not the child. The memory never belonged to him. His entire belief about being special was built on illusion. The realization empties him completely. Standing alone beneath giant holograms and endless rain, Kay understands he is still just another manufactured replicant. Yet strangely, the pain also changes him. He begins realizing that humanity is not defined by birth. It is defined by choice. Hidden replicants eventually reveal that the real child is Dr. Anna Stelline herself. To protect her identity, memories and records were divided between different children. Kay finally understands why her reaction to the memory felt so emotional. The memory belonged to her all along. Even though the truth destroys his dream, Kay decides to save Deckard anyway. Not because he was ordered to, but because it is the right thing to do. For the first time in his existence, Kay acts entirely out of free will. Chapter 5. Night covers Los Angeles in darkness, while heavy rain crashes against rooftops and distant police sirens echo through empty streets. Kay, wounded and barely able to stand, hides in the shadows while searching for Deckard's transport vehicle. Meanwhile, Wallace attempts to torture the truth out of Deckard inside a massive white chamber filled with water and silence. Wallace speaks softly about creation and evolution, like a false god obsessed with controlling life itself. Yet even under pain, Deckard refuses to reveal his daughter's location. Outside near the seawall, enormous waves slam violently against metal barriers as Kay finally intercepts the transport carrying Deckard away. Gunfire erupts through darkness while vehicles crash into each other beside the ocean. The transport suddenly plunges into freezing water below. Chaos explodes instantly. Water floods the vehicle while metal twists and glass cracks beneath pressure. Deckard remains chained inside as the cabin slowly sinks into darkness. Then Love appears through the flooding water, bleeding yet terrifyingly calm. The final fight between Kay and Love becomes savage and desperate. Massive waves crash around them while the vehicle continues sinking deeper beneath the ocean. Love repeatedly forces Kay underwater, try to drown him while whispering cold words into his ear. "You imagined it," she says quietly. "You wanted to be real." For several terrifying moments, Kay nearly dies beneath the black water. But somehow he rises again, dragging Love into one final brutal struggle. Even while wounded, Love refuses to stop fighting. Eventually, Kay overpowers her, and the ocean slowly swallows her into darkness forever. Exhausted and bleeding heavily, Kay manages to rescue Deckard moments before the vehicle disappears beneath the waves completely. By morning, the storm begins fading and soft snow slowly falls across the city. Kay brings Deckard to Anna Stelline's facility where father and daughter finally see each other for the first time in decades. Neither speaks at first. They simply stare through the glass while silence fills the room with emotion stronger than words. Outside, Kay collapses onto the snowy steps. Cold air surrounds him while distant music echoes softly in the background. Snowflakes fall across his face as his breathing becomes slower and weaker. For his entire life, Kay searched desperately for proof that he was human. In the end, he realizes humanity was never about being born naturally. It was about sacrifice, love, compassion, and the ability to choose something greater than yourself. Blade Runner 2049 is more than a science fiction film about the future. It is a haunting exploration of identity, loneliness, memory, and what it truly means to be alive. Through Kay's painful journey, the movie forces audiences to question the difference between artificial life and humanity itself. Filled with endless rain, neon darkness, emotional silence, and breathtaking visuals, Blade Runner 2049 remains one of the most visually stunning and emotionally powerful sci-fi masterpieces ever created.